When I say the name Courtney Smith, what comes to mind?
Extremely difficult situation, a very troubled marriage, a situation that I wish I had known more and I wish I had done more.
Why didn't you know more?
Well, I knew what I knew. I knew that in 2009 that there was an incident, and I was led to believe by both parties that it was not domestic violence.
2009, while you were at Florida, Zach Smith was arrested by the Gainesville Police Department after he, quote, allegedly picked up his wife and threw her against a wall. This is in the investigation's findings. What did you do about the arrest?
I believe it was the next day I found out about it, and both parties came to see me. I asked about it, and I was told it was not domestic violence, that she was very upset with him for drinking.
Who told you that?
I believe both of them did.
The report also says about 2009, you and your wife Shelley didn't believe Courtney Smith was being, quote, entirely truthful when she called 911 to have Zach arrested. This is what the report says, Urban. What was she untruthful about in calling 911?
I recall being told and believed that this was not domestic violence, that she threw him out of the house, and that there were no charges. I was completely reliant on information from law enforcement that there was no charges.
Given the 2009 arrest, Urban, you left Florida after, you returned to coaching at Ohio State. What reservations, if any, did you have about hiring Zach Smith again?
So I wanted to have someone with some familiarity to my offense, and Zach seemed like a guy that was doing very well. And I checked on him, did background checks with the coaches he worked with. It came back very high marks. And so I made the decision to hire him at Ohio State.
How do you view that decision now?
Oh, bad decision.
What did you tell your boss, Athletic Director Gene Smith, about the 2009 arrest when you hired Zach Smith at Ohio State?
I recall I didn't tell him.
But you knew about it. Why not tell him?
In hindsight, I should have.
Why didn't you?
I can't recall why. That was several years ago. I just can't tell you exactly what my mindset was at the time.
You put your core values for the football program on the wall at the Woody Hayes Center, printed in all caps for everybody to see. What are the first two values?
Honesty is number one, and respect women number two.
Honesty and treat women with respect. Through the course of these events involving Zach and Courtney Smith, how do you think you honored those values?
I still hold those values so firm, so strong, and I apologize for the perception that I don't. You know,
You apologize for the perception. What is the perception?
That as a result of this investigation and this situation, that I did not take that seriously.
For the perception. What apology, if any, for the actions, Urban?
Also for the actions. You know, it was a very tough time, a tough situation that Courtney was in, that Zach Smith was in, that we were led to believe was a very difficult divorce and a lot of things going on. And I erred, Tom. I erred, and I made a decision to do the best I can to help stabilize that situation. And one of the things, I look back now, I probably should have fired him.
Again, according to the investigation, late fall 2015, Courtney Smith shared her allegations of abuse with your wife, Shelley, including a number of photographs. Shelley called the police department seeking more information, and it's reported she texted back saying, in parts, Urban, I am praying for you. I know the truth. Just want you to be safe. Do you have restraining order? He scares me. Why do you shake your head?
The first time I heard of those texts were just recently, in the last month, because Shelley did not share those text messages with me.
As a nurse, an instructor in the College of Nursing at Ohio State, what do you think her responsibility was in sharing the allegations?
If there's imminent fear, I imagine that her responsibility is to alert someone.
What do you think she should have done?
I can't speak to that because, once again, I don't know everything that she knew. I don't, once again, she shared with me her reasoning. And I don't want to speak on her behalf.
You said earlier, if she had imminent fear, quote, "He scares me." How much does that sound like imminent fear?
We talked about that, and she wanted to be as compassionate as possible. And once again, she has a reasoning for why she didn't react, and I'm not here to speak for Shelley. But she had her reasoning, and if her reasoning was what it was, that's why she did not alert me or go anywhere else with it.
How did she protect Courtney Smith?
To be compassionate, to be open therefore, to talk to her. I don't know in great detail what those conversations were like.
The report concluded, Urban, it is likely you and Shelley had some communication about the allegations in late 2015. Why do you believe the report found it likely?
I think they know how close we are. I think they know how much Shelley cares about people and I care about people.
When it comes to the program's core value of treating women with respect, who respected and protected Courtney Smith?
Oh, that's a tough question. Now that all the information's out, now that I've learned more, if I fire him at the time, sever that relationship, and I see these two young kids, that's, and that's the way I've always thought. How do you help stabilize something? And at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing.